I'm Chip Townsend, and this is the Team Chip Podcast. This is a golden nugget that they overlook, right?
For sure.
It reconnects you with your why.
100%. What if you just did a backflip and broke a back?
For me to get to see you accomplish things at that level has been just an absolute gift from God. All right, guys, welcome back to the Team Chip Podcast. I am, saying it again. I'm excited to be here today. It's going to be a good day. I have the one and only Zeke Merchant. How's it going, Zeke?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Zeke is the co-chief instructor of our headquarter location in Abilene, Texas. And not only that, but our kind of demo team leader as well. He's grown up with us. When did you start training with us?
2008, I believe. So 1,000 years ago or whatever.
You're old, 1,000 plus. You're old, man. So been training with us for a really long time. And along those lines, one of the most dedicated. He's been there. He's consistent. He's been through ups and downs and all these different things. And in our school, we go through the color belt ranks, and then you potentially earn your black belt, which he did, and then eventually you move into kind of leadership team. You go through some leadership team development and assistant instructor training, etc. And so he has followed a long path and done a lot of things to get to where he is today. And we think the world of him, and he does a great job. So we're going to talk about demo team, right?
Yes, sir.
And we're going to talk about why demo team matters. I kind of think, Zeke, when I talk to school owners sometimes, this is a golden nugget that they overlook, right? A lot of schools don't really have a demo team. But anyway, we can talk about that. So super happy to have you here. He's a 3rd degree black belt. And like I said, he's also the head of our parkour program. We do the Ninja Tricks curriculum, which we really enjoy and feel good about.
Love it.
Fairly easy to plug and play into the system. So we do, how many classes a week of parkour do we do now?
We're up to 3 now, which is a lot better than it was a few years ago. We were just doing one a week.
One class a week, and kind of hard. But anyway, it's good because the kids are getting more consistency, more opportunities to come to class and train. And by the way, Zeke is a monster parkour guy too. Flips, jumps, overcoming obstacles and in a big kind of way and all those kind of things. So anyway, with all that said, we're going to dive into some demo team stuff. So Zeke, tell me a little bit about what is, in the context of martial arts school, what is the demo team?
I like to think that the demo team is a group of students that go out and perform in the community or beyond,
right.
Basically showing off what your martial arts is. They show off what the school does.
Yes, I like that. The demonstration team, they demonstrate. And I think that's another thing sometimes that can be missed by a school owner or a lead instructor if they are developing a team is make sure that they're covering kind of all the gamut of what your school offers. So when you're out in that community, you're showing off and demonstrating those tools, right?
100%.
What are the kind of, what kind of places do we do demos? Talk about that a little bit.
We do it like literally all over town, we've gone to different states, etc. But a lot of local school events is where we'll go perform. We'll perform for community events. And some of those are not just we go and perform and show off,
right.
But we're also doing like a little mini class or a little mini demonstration and other extra things on top of that as well. We've done like stuff for media appearances right. And other stuff like that.
Sometimes we have like, a new business will open in town and they'll want to do like a grand opening. So they might reach out to us and go, hey, will you guys come down and do something just to kind of entertain the crowd? And so sometimes your demo team is just entertainment. But I just think the power as a martial arts school owner is your demo team is one of your marketing tools, right? And I mean, I don't mean a tool to be cold, but it's a portion of your business that allows you to market to your local community by having them out there putting on a show that's impressive, not just their skills and people go, oh, wow, look at them. But, when the kids line up and they're standing at attention and they're walking out into the crowd or people walk up to them to introduce themselves and the kids are looking them in the eye and shaking their hands. And man, that's teaching people about the culture of your school. And it's generally free. Right.
Right.
And it's a powerful thing. So, and the reason I'm kind of hitting on that a little bit about what is the demo team, is marketing is kind of that billboard you drive past on the highway all the time, right? I don't know about you, but you drive by the billboard and you see it and And then at some point, maybe the billboards for chicken nuggets. I don't know. I just had Brian LaCroix, Chick-fil-A in here, so we'll talk chicken nuggets a little bit. So we drive by the Chick-fil-A chicken nugget billboard, and then one day our kid in the back seat says, "I want some chicken nuggets." That's common, right? And so front of mind is Chick-fil-A because you've been driving by the billboard.
Right.
Well, your demo team is that billboard in your community, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I love that. Have you had any demos in our community that are kind of standout? What's kind of one of your favorites? Because let me just real quick say, sometimes we have one-offs and sometimes we have like ones that we kind of go back and redo year after year. So do you have 100%. A favorite?
I think my top two, I love doing, we have a sports expo that happens in town all the time.
Yes.
That one's a huge community outreach time, especially for just Abilene in general.
Right.
We get all the soccer teams, football teams, baseball teams.
All the athletic, kids in athletics come together. Right?
Exactly. Everybody comes together. We've got a really nice building that they rent out, and it's super cool. They have the other martial arts schools in town go through as well.
Right.
And it's just, I think the general atmosphere and energy at that time is super huge and is really cool for Abilene.
Right. Mm-hmm.
One of my other favorites that we do is less of a demo, is more of a community outreach. We're doing more class type stuff, is we have Camp Rehab.
Camp Rehab.
That happens at Buffalo Gap. We're actually doing that next week, which is super cool.
That's so cool.
But this is something that the demo team has done for, how long?
I'm going to say, Zeke, you kind of put me on the spot here, but probably at least 12 plus years, maybe longer than that, we've been going. And so real quick, Camp Rehab, well, just tell what Camp Rehab is.
So Camp Rehab is basically, it is a 4 or 5 day camp where they pull in a bunch of kids with special needs.
Right.
All the way from a little bit all the way to kids that are in wheelchairs that are really struggling, and they all get a camp leader and they literally spend all camp together. It's super cool.
Right.
They invite us out and basically we teach just a mini class for those guys all day long on whatever day that is. And it's always super special. It is super fun to work with those guys. Every single time we've gone out, they've absolutely loved us being there.
Right.
The kiddos, the camp leaders, it is just an absolute blast.
It is. I'm so glad you brought that up because I actually didn't have that on my radar for this talk. But back to, what is your demo team? It's, they're out there performing. This kind of leans a little bit more into the why of the demo team. So the Camp Rehab is a super special event, and a lot of these kids would not have the opportunity to ever be exposed to martial arts, right?
100%.
And one of the things that's so special about our team going out there too, I think, is that no matter where that kid is at, we kind of come to them and meet them in that little group setting at their place and allow them to engage in some way, right?
100%. Yes, sir.
And so none of the kids are left out. And I'm going to give a flip side to this for the demo teamers and the young leadership that go out to be a part of that. It's life-changing, right?
Yes. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Have you, I don't know, I may be kind of putting you on the spot, but have you seen like some of the kids go like, wow, I can't believe what we just got to do, or how that impacted them? Have you seen any impact with the kids?
I've definitely seen some. I don't have, actually, Everly Reinders, yes. I know that is one of her, that is also one of her favorite
things, right?
Because she gets to go out and work with all those guys and pour into them. And it's always special whenever it's not just the kids that you see every single day.
Right.
Because as much as we try to not make them old hat, sometimes the kiddos can be old hat,
right.
And so whenever you're working with a new group of students, it really does help light that fire again and go, okay, this is really special.
Speaking of why of the demo team, it reconnects you with your why. Like,
100%.
Why do I love martial arts? Why do I do what I do? Why did I step into leadership in martial arts? I've had countless kids come back from that and ask them, like kind of high, low Buffalo, like what was a high, maybe what was a low, and what kind of caught you off guard. And always those kids out there asking crazy questions and you have some wild buffaloes. But I can't count how many times kids have come back with kind of a new appreciation just for the simple fact that they can walk, or the simple fact that, they can get up and they can move around and just do what they want when they want to, whenever they're dealing with these little guys that are confined to a wheelchair or walkers and different stuff like that. And so on that side, from a leadership and perspective and growth perspective and maturity perspective, it's so good for the team. So, man, I'm glad you brought that up. That's good. let's talk about a little bit about why. We've already probably touched on this, but let's get into, why the demo team. Why does a school need a demo team? I personally think it's one of those golden nuggets a lot of schools miss out on. And I've got some pretty big thoughts on this, I think, but share what you think. Why the demo team?
I think there's probably two really good ways to look at it. You can look at it as a business owner, school runner, but then also this is the perspective that I have of a kid growing up in the traditional martial arts program. Growing up, it was always, oh my gosh, I want to be on the demo team. That's where the cool kids are, right? That's where the kids that are they're always kicking higher, moving faster. They get to do all the cool things, Mm-hmm. But it's always it was that step of, man, I cannot wait to be on the demo team. Right. Those guys are doing something super cool. And so that is, yes, the journey to black belt is a motivator. That's the next, I feel like is probably the next natural step of I earned my black belt, and then it's, how do I get on the demo team next?
Right. Well, we have a podcast episode talking about kind of how, to build a demo team and things. We'll talk more about how we structure our demo team. But I love that. It's an inspirational tool for the students, the other students on the mat, because whenever we have for instance, at testing, talk about how the team comes out and inspires at testing a little bit.
At testing, it's awesome because one of the requirements for a demo team is they have to be there at testing.
Right.
Part of the reason for that is, one, the help is always nice.
Right.
But probably the more important reason is the demo team is able to perform at a high level,
right,
and demonstrate at a high level and help raise the energy of testing so that even in moments of there's that grind of testing,
right,
they can help bring that energy back up and make it exciting again and
right,
show the kiddos, this is what you're striving for. This Absolutely. Is what it's supposed to look like.
Yep. I love that. And I hope you guys picked up on that. If you're a school owner or an instructor, Zeke said something really powerful, the grind of testing. Martial arts is tough, and it should always be tough. I don't mean ego tough. I mean, you should work hard, and throwing a lot of kicks and striking combinations and grappling is hard work, right? And so it can become a grind, and you're running through your curriculum and your materials and you're showing off your stuff as a student in testing. That can get tough. So the demo team comes in and they do kind of a little show in each testing group, right? And as they do that, the idea is a couple of fold, like you said, lift the spirits of those students that are out there and inspire them, but also to give them a point to shoot for, right? Give them a direction, like a path. So that's awesome. Demo team is, it's about showcasing that school talent and spirit and kind of culture and personifying it in a crowd somewhere so people can understand more about you. A while ago, you were talking about the sports expo, and you said, I need martial arts school owners to hear this. Our biggest competition is typically not the other martial arts school down the street. It's the dance studio, it's baseball, it's soccer, it's other sports, right? Yes. It's other things that grab the attention of kids. It's video games. All right? That's our biggest competition. And so at this sports expo that's held every year in Abilene, it's huge. It's an amazing event. Tons of kids come out. Tons of other sports are displayed and demoed. But other martial arts schools come out. And we love that because it gives people a chance to kind of look side by side and see the culture difference, the performance difference, and the students of the schools. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And so for us, that's always been, I don't want this to sound too vain, but it's always been a good thing, right? People walk away and kind of go, oh, okay, I see it now, right? So your demo team matters. It increases your community visibility and awareness. It attracts students. Talk a little bit about, and we delve into this some in the other podcast episode too, but a little bit about the class. You said we not only do a demo sometimes, but when we're at the sports expo, the demo team does a demonstration to excite people. What's the flow of that demo? Then what do you do?
So exactly, right. So we'll come out, we'll put on a show. We try to get as many people, as many eyes as we can on there.
Right.
Usually we make a lot of noise and people are like, what's going on over there?
Right.
And we'll basically put on a nice show, make it super exciting. The energy's super high. Afterwards, we'll finish, and one of probably me or somebody that's an instructor and a demo team leader
right.
will come out and say, okay, we're going to do a mini class. So demo team, go find a friend, bring them onto the mat. Because most of those kiddos are not gonna
Right.
show up on their own.
You just
know?
yell out, "Hey guys, jump on the mat. We're gonna do a class." And
everyone's
everyone's
like,
kids are like, "Whoa!"
Oh, no, thank you. But if you get the demo team to go out, go find a friend, bring them on, one that helps that that kind of personal connection with that, which will help bring them onto the mat more. We always try to also invite our student base to come to like the sports expo and support the demo team.
Absolutely.
Because then they get a leadership opportunity
Right.
to be a leader in that class and
Yes.
show the kiddos what's going on. After that, we put on, it's maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Max,
we
yeah.
literally do like tuck jumps, we'll do back fists, we'll do some roundhouses if we got the space. We'll talk about courtesy, we'll talk about confidence, and just a quick little like, hey, courtesy, be nice. That means I have the confidence to know that I don't need to, if someone comes in and tries to hurt me, I know how to defend myself. I'm not going around punching random people.
Right.
Confidence. I know that I am strong. Not necessarily that I got big muscles, but I know who I am, and I know that
Yes.
whatever you say to me is going to slide off my back. I don't care, you know?
Right.
And just trying to drip feed the little kind of mental lessons.
Cultural lessons,
that
the
we're
mental lessons. Yeah, I love it.
that we're trying to teach. And so the kiddos get a chance to kick and punch things and just have a blast. But then mom and dad get to see, okay, they're bringing confidence into my kid, and they're getting them to step outside their shell a little bit. And maybe we get 1 or 2 or 3 people that are interested after a sports expo, but 1 to 3 is more than 0.
Oh, way more than 0. And by the way, I mean, I know schools that, you know, get 1 or 2 students a month, if that. And so 1 or 2 or 3 from a demo team, a good demonstration somewhere could be game changer, right?
Right.
That's so powerful. I love what you said. So there's a couple of things happening I just want to kind of touch on. Like, our demo team are asked to go find a friend. Now, I want to qualify that. Not like a friend they know from school. Go find a friend, and they'll go out and hey, and introduce themselves to a younger kid. Like, hey, come on and jump on the mat with me, and encourage the kid. The kid will come along, get on the mat. And as 1 or 2 kids get on, the rest start kind of coming along and following along, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's really powerful. So it's powerful for the demo team member to get to go out and kind of like engage and put on a smile and you know, interact with the audience a little bit in the crowd. And the feedback we get that I don't even know that you get sometimes from parents around the sides, we get messages back sometimes, or they'll even come to us and be like, man, I can't believe how mature and how, you know, how sweet your kids are. I know that sounds kind of weird, but they're just friendly and they're outgoing, and we love that. And that's what we want people to see to attract them to our martial arts, right? Building retention. I just want to talk a little bit about a retention tool. I don't know, you alluded to it already. It was really good. So you were talking about, you know, you earn your black belt. Like, the next logical step is possibly demo team, right? So that's the way, when you have a good demo team in place in your school that's demoing in front of the students, sometimes out in the community consistently, kind of being the front face of your school, being that marketing billboard, it is a logical next step for the kids to want to step onto it. But for us, we do about 6 to 12 weeks between testing cycles. And so you can test for a potential stripe or a potential belt in 6 and 12 week intervals for a period of time when you go from white belt climbing towards black. And then the time gets spread a little further apart as you get closer to black belt. But the point is, when you hit black belt from first degree to second degree, you got 2 years of training, right?
Right.
And so we've always seen demo team as kind of an interim step they can step into that, I'm going to use the word distract, that distracts them from 2 years before I can test. Oh, demo team, they jump on the demo team. Before they know it, a year, sometimes 2 have passed, and they're going, oh, I'm eligible to test again for my next level, right?
Right.
And if they're in the school, training consistent, etc. So I don't want to undervalue the demo team as a retention tool.
100%. Yes,
I
sir.
think it's super, super powerful. Wanted to jump over a little bit and talk about kind of student impact and journey. I wanted to talk about yours. So I'm just going to kind of put you on the spot. What has the demo team meant to you? You know, has it, you know, how's it impacted you? Just give me some thoughts on that.
So I guess I joined the demo team like 10, 11 years ago as a wee lad, I guess. But I think the demo team for me was, yes, it was that, oh, it's the demo team, I can't wait to join, whatever. But by the time I had joined the demo team and had been on for a little bit, that was like my friend group.
Right.
Those were my peers. Those were my friends.
Right.
I like had some friends in school, but I didn't do like any other sports or anything else outside of martial arts just because of life and everything. But those were like my close friends that I got to hang out and spend time with. I got to train with, I got to kick with. And so like I have basically lifelong bonds with a lot of those guys, especially the crew that, because we'll probably talk about this at some point, but going to Florida, ISK, Performance, etc. Like those guys I will never forget. We'll always have some little connection at some point just because of how how much time we spend together probably, but time, effort, energy, you get to
when you bleed and sweat with people, you get close with them, right?
Yes. You have a whole new level of connection with that person, which is really interesting. But especially growing up, those were my people, and it was cool because we got to learn the demo team has to be a step above, right? You can't be on the demo team, but then be just like every other black belt in the building,
right?
Because you're on the demo team. Right. You've got to make a big deal of it, right? And so, we were basically told we have to kick higher, kick faster, etc., all the things. But then also there's that we get to learn kind of that sport karate type deal where it's, okay, now we're doing flashy kicks and 540s and, oh yeah, Zeke, you're going to learn how to do a backflip. Good luck. And stuff like that, right? So I think that also helps, especially kids like me, because I loved martial arts, but I also liked the parkour side of things. I love
kind of the flipping, jumping,
tricking, stuff like that. Right. And so that demo team was a chance for me to learn how to do some of that stuff as well.
Absolutely. How do you think it impacted you, or do you, as an instructor and a leader, do you think there was any impact there? Just, the performances helped you to grow in those areas?
100%. Going out and performing for the community really helped me just in terms of confidence in knowing what I'm doing, having some sort of stage presence. I know for a long, long time, I would just go out and just kind of do the thing and just... all right, I know I'm supposed to yell out right now, so that's what I'm going to do and just hope for the best. But as time has gone on and I've gotten more comfortable doing demos, the pressure is still on, but the amount of nerves I have are just nowhere near as bad.
What it was, right?
And so it's easier for me to have fun in the moment and just to be on stage and play the part of the crazy martial arts guy that can kick and flip and do all the crazy things and whatever.
So he's alluded to it a little bit, but Zeke has a unique one-off. He's the only man in the world to have done something, and we're super proud of that. So as a part of the demo team, we used to take our demo team and haven't in a few years, and have them compete at the world competition. And believe it or not, that started years ago, kind of on a small scale. We were growing the demo team, and I just kind of heard through the grapevine that there were some tournaments that had demo team competitions. So I went to one of the tournaments and kind of watched it, and I thought, okay, cool, we'll bring our kids. And so it was like a little local regional. I think the first one was up in Oklahoma. And so we took a group of kids, and they crushed it and won the competition, and they won it again. It was like, it was all, I don't want to sound bad. It was almost a little bit easy for them to win, right? And it was like, okay, what's the next step? So we started prepping them to go to the ISK, the International Sport Karate Association World Demo Team Competition. And that definitely stepped the game up and challenged them. But Zeke was also a breaking competitor in the ISK, and he took his experience from demoing in demos and flipping and kicking and breaking and all that stuff and integrated into a creative breaking competition pattern one time, and was the first and only man to ever do a backflip and break a Louisville Slugger with his shin at the same time. So upside down above his head I was standing in a chair with it like almost straight up. So, I mean, 9 to 10 feet in the air, really high.
It was pretty high.
It was high. Yeah. And so, man, how did that impact you?
So I'll probably tell this story all the time, but I think it was a little while after I had broken my first baseball bat, probably a year or two after that. I don't remember if it was you or who it was, but you're like, what if you just did a backflip and broke a bat?
Well, we would see, the Korean demo teams and teams do, boards, and a lot of times they do the, the little 1/4 inch kind of thin demo boards, we call them, just for fun, flash. And it's like, why not break a bat? Because when you backflip and I hold a bag for you, you hit that thing really hard, right? And so, man, he's hitting the bag and either ripping it out of my hand or almost ripping my arm off doing backflips and breaking, kicking stuff. And I'm like, hey, let's go with this, right?
Right. And it was one of those, I was like, I don't know if this is possible, but we can find out, right?
Find out. So do you remember how we tried it, the first break you did?
We did it with a bow staff, right?
Yeah. We took there was a couple of reasons for the bow staff. It was long, so we could get far apart and give you plenty of room to flip in the middle. But it wasn't near as heavy as the baseball bat. So, man, so what a great experience. And man, unbelievable moments of pride for us as kind of your leaders and watching you grow up and pour into you. But I would never have the ability and never had the ability to do that. And for me to get to see you accomplish things at that level has been just an absolute gift from God. Like,
thank you, sir.
I love it. Yeah, so good. All right, guys. Man, demo team recap. It inspires the students. It promotes growth. I encourage you to develop a demo team. And again, we'll have another podcast episode where we talk about kind of how to build it and kind of some layers and different things to do to make it work. But the demo team become the leaders in the school. It can help boost enrollment, boost retention. It can do so many things. And they're kind of like leadership incubators. So Zeke, have any kind of closing thoughts around demo team? Thinking in terms of, a martial arts school owner that has never done it or has maybe toyed with it, but what would you encourage them to do, or how would you encourage them to get going with this?
100%. I definitely start small. Get a good crew of kiddos or adults or teens that are going to do an absolute killer job. Have them start small. They don't have to do the crazy flipping, tricking, ISKA. Absolutely. If you watch like those top tier teams, those guys have been doing it for a long time and are specialized in their own area.
Right.
But you need to do something that is practical to your school. Anytime we have a new demo team member come up, they are doing their one steps and their forms
and their self defenses.
That's all they're doing. They're doing basic kick combinations. They're not doing anything fancy or crazy because when they can learn to do that well, then we can start to transition another place, right?
Absolutely. I love it. It's a great stepping stone. And there again lies, it's such a great tool for retention for those young guys to give them something exciting to work on and kind of distract them from the time of work they have to put in for their levels in their traditional programs. So just some kind of action steps, recognizing the role of high performance in the student development, the confidence, like Zeke, that they grow out of being a part of that team. And I do want to say, you never want your demo team to be a clique, to be like the two cool kids, but they're humble, they're kind, they're friendly, they still fit in with everyone else, but they do kind of have their circle that they develop, right? That's very special. You already said it, start small, right? Start small. Just grab a handful of students that are kind of shy, that are hungry and that kind of want it, and get them going. And don't forget to use your demo team. And I don't mean use them in a bad way, but get them out in the community. It's really not even using them. It's giving them a chance to shine. Let them get out there and show off and kind of be that billboard. So any other last thoughts for us, man?
I think that's it. I think we covered a whole bunch.
Good. We did. A lot of good nuggets. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. And thank you for just being you, man.
Thanks, sir.
I'll say it again. I truly say this, just a great young man. Like, graduated from college, you're married, you have a good marriage and life and home, and you're a killer team member with us. We love you to death and appreciate all that you do and the heart you put in, all the work. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed this, got some nuggets from it. Subscribe, give us a review, shoot us messages, and let us know things you might want to hear about around the realm of leadership, business, martial arts school operation, etc. And we hope to hear from you and see you soon, and look forward to next time.
See ya.
Thank you for tuning into the Team Chip Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget, subscribe, share, and or leave a review, because we need you. We appreciate you so much, and without you, we can't make this happen. Remember, consistency is the key to success, so go out there and never be outworked.